Dominance is not physical. It never was. The masses confuse sexual dominance with aggression, theatrics, kink, bravado, and performance because they are surface-minded and stimulation-addicted. The weaker man thinks dominance is created through touch, when the Indecepta man knows that the touch only lands with power because the frame behind it was already unshakable. Sexual dominance begins in the invisible realm. It is born in the silent inner chambers where men either rise into mastery or get devoured by their own craving. The flesh is simply the stage where the mind reveals what it already decided to be. The mind is the fortress, the seat of command, the throne. If you do not govern your inner empire, you will never govern the external moment. And this is where 99% of men collapse, because they think dominance is proven in the heat of physical ecstasy, but it is proven long before that, in the discipline you have over your impulse, in the sovereignty you have over your emotion, and in the steel-like stillness you maintain in the face of temptation. Sexual dominance is the control of pace, not the chasing of pleasure. It is the weaponization of patience, anticipation, silence, timing. The feminine senses this instantly. She can tell if a man leads with hunger or leads with command. She feels the difference between a man trying to get something and a man who has already chosen to be something. Dominance is identity. Power is an energetic posture you embody. Control is a frequency. Every legendary seducer in history mastered one universal truth. You cannot dominate another being until you have completely mastered yourself. The temptations of flesh, lust, validation, and ego are tests designed to expose the men who are impulsive, reactive, and possessed by desire. The feminine does not surrender to such men. She manipulates them, drains them, plays them like instruments, but she surrenders to the man she cannot move. She bends to the man who is not addicted to her approval, who is not starving for touch, who does not crumble beneath his own arousal. The man who is still, calm, internally fortified. He becomes terrifying in the sexual dimension because he does not chase. He selects. He leads without forcing. His presence alone shapes the emotional field. His silence has weight. His eyes carry direction. His energy carries command. Robert Greene revealed this repeatedly in the 48 Laws of Power. Power is not in the blow. Power is in the frame, the invisible pressure, the perception you generate, the psychological architecture you impose upon reality before you ever act. Sexual dominance is Law 33 in motion, understanding the unique key to another person's vulnerability and using that knowledge quietly. Sexual dominance is Law 3, concealing your intentions, never revealing the full depth of your inner plans. Sexual dominance is Law 16, using absence, scarcity, strategic withdrawal, making the feminine chase, making the anticipation more intoxicating than the contact itself. When you enter the sexual domain with this level of internal authority, you stop competing on the physical dimension entirely. Most men are trying to impress sexually. The dominant man is not impressing. He is imprinting. He is writing meaning into the moment. He is programming anticipation before the physical even begins. He is choosing when escalation occurs, when tension spikes, when pace slows, when intensity pauses, when release is delayed, when hunger is sharpened. He is the conductor of the entire psychosexual orchestra, not the performer drowning in noise. This is what real dominance is, not the control of the other body, but the control of your own energy so intensely that the other body voluntarily aligns itself to your tempo. Dominance is not imposed. Dominance is earned through mastery of self. Your power is not proven in the act. It is revealed by how impossible you are to move off center before the act. Because sexual dominance is not about flesh. It is control beyond the flesh. It is the art of governing the instinctual world from the throne of pure will. The body is just the battlefield where the mind proves it already won the war. In the alchemy of lust, you'll be taken deep into the ancient and forgotten discipline of sexual transmutation, a principle once reserved for monks, warriors, kings, and creators. Dominance becomes divine when you realize that the physical moment is only a fraction of the war. The true battlefield is subtle, invisible, psychological, energetic. The dominant man leads not by aggression, but by direction. He shapes atmosphere, he manipulates tempo. He decides what goes fast, what slows down, what stays suspended in tension. The physical body becomes merely an instrument being conducted by a will that has already mastered itself. Sexual dominance is not chaos. It is choreography. It is art. It is the ability to turn silence into suspense, stillness into tension, pacing into seduction, timing into power. You are not trying to win the moment. You are architecting the moment. Women feel this immediately. They feel the difference between a man who wants to devour and a man who chooses exactly when to devour. And that difference is seismic. It shifts the dynamic from desperation to rulership. You do not show all your power. You reveal it in calibrated doses like a controlled burn. You use her curiosity against her, letting her wonder what you are thinking, what you are planning, what you are capable of. This aligns with Robert Greene's Law 48. Assume formlessness. Never let them pin down your full capacity. Mystery is leverage. Predictability is weakness. The dominant man never becomes fully readable, because the moment someone can predict you, they can mentally disarm you. When you are unpinnable, unexplained, unhurried, you control the emotional narrative before a single touch occurs. But the highest expression of sexual dominance is not what is done to someone else. It is what is not done to yourself. Power is self-restraint in the presence of temptation. Power is the refusal to collapse into sensation. Power is the ability to hold tension without release. Weak men need the climax to validate their masculine identity. Strong men delay it, weaponize it, channel it, redirect it toward legacy, toward ambition, toward creation. Lust becomes fuel when you refuse to let it scatter you. Your sexual energy becomes currency you invest into your higher mission. This is where sexual dominance crosses into spiritual warfare, when you become a king not just over the moment, not just over the interaction, but over the force inside you that most men are slaves to. The world bends for the man who does not spill his fire cheaply. Kings were not made from indulgence. They were made from command over instinct. The flesh was never meant to control the throne. The flesh was meant to serve it. Sexual dominance becomes transcendent when you understand pleasure was never the goal, power was. Transformation was. Ascension was. And the woman who experiences a man like this does not simply enjoy the moment, she is altered by it. Because she met a man who was not driven by hunger, but by sovereignty. She met a man who did not collapse into desire, but reigned above it. She met a man whose power was rooted not in performance, but in inner law. This is the final truth. Sexual dominance is not about conquering bodies. It is about conquering yourself so thoroughly that the external world becomes an extension of your internal order. You are not ruled by lust. You rule lust. You are not ruled by impulse. You rule impulse. You are not ruled by pleasure. You use pleasure strategically to fortify your throne. And because you live at this level of control, nothing outside of you can take power from you, and nothing outside of you can define your worth. Your legacy becomes sharper. Your ambitions become clearer. Your mission becomes fortified. This is control beyond flesh. This is sovereignty in the erotic dimension. This is the path of the man who rises above desire, above distraction, above the biological programming that enslaves most men. This is the man who understands that sex is not entertainment. It is influence, not escape, but evolution. He becomes the architect of energy itself, and the world must now respond to him rather than tempt him. That is sexual dominance in its highest form, not possession of another body, but mastery over the kingdom within. Thus remember, we are Indecepta. The Crusaders bundle 4 ruthless lessons, 1 unbreakable code. For a limited time, claim all 4 Indecepta audiobooks for the price of 3. Step inside the private archive of discipline, power, and psychological warfare, where lust is conquered, the mind is weaponized, and legacy is forged. Don't just listen. Arm yourself. Indeceptions.com